Here we are, we're eventually coming out of winter. It's the end of February. We've got our first UV from the sun, which is very well accepted. Pettitts Lake is looking good. So I'm going to do a little video on how we fish Pettitts Lake, why we fish the areas we fish, how we apply the bait and what's in the bait. But I will be giving what I think is my biggest edge, why I catch these Pettitts carp away. So why Pettitts Lake? The stock that's in here is second to nothing. I fished it 2 years ago in winter, did 2.5 months on here, and the stock have probably doubled in weight since then. It's a fantastic day ticket water. Every swim's different, so you have to go in with different methods, how you lay your rigs, how you bait. You know, you've got to keep your pencil sharp. So whereas you just rock up to a flat bottom lake and every rig will do everywhere, I think sometimes you've got to tweak things and, you know, leading about and things like that. Pettitts Lake is the sort of lake that I love because you learn something, and when you learn it and you go back to it, it rewards you. And I found once you find the real dinner plates you're looking for, your continuity of the captures just keep coming on. And I think, you know, once we move on to the bait bit, as you bait those dinner plates, you can't do anything but catch fish because they do respond. And they're big fish, and I think the lake itself has just got everything a carp angler's looking for. Right, I mentioned the lake was spotty, and I use the phrase the dinner plates, but this lake, it is so spotty. You can be literally a rod length out and blank, or you can find the spot and you can really fill your boots with fish. Every swim in the lake has got its ups and downs and gullies, and you know, one gully isn't like another. I'm not one for leading like mad at the start of a session. I'd rather do it when I'm packed away at the end of the session, and you're just learning so much about every individual swim, because on here it's very beneficial to learn what you're fishing in front of, because of the bottom is so up and down. The fish are all over, round and round. You know, some swims you put yourself where you're fishing for traffic, other swims you're putting yourself where you're hoping they're going to end up. You just got to get it right, you've got to work it out. Pettitts is a lake, when you get it worked out, very rewarding. So this swim here, you've got a bar that ends. We're in swim 11 at the moment. You've got a bar that ends. I do think a lot of people fish it 21 wraps, 19 wraps. I am at 19 wraps today, but my favourite wrap is 17 wraps here. I just fish where the bulk of the bait doesn't go in. I try and stay off the such and such spots at so and so wraps. Ever so important this time of the year to know what you're fishing on and to know how much bait you're fishing with, because you could probably turn up in a spot, apply your bait, think you've given a small amount of bait, and you could be fishing on somebody's bait 5-6 kilo. So you've really got to be aware. You've got to, you know, the ideal way to fish this lake is to speak to the bailiffs. They're all good lads. Ask what's been out. Just try and get a picture of it all, but work that bottom out. Work out anywhere there's a crease in the bottom. I love creases. From a, you know, you get a crease from a bar. Don't try and fish up it. Just where you imagine those fish swimming 2-3 feet round that, because a bar is a sunken island, and they'll swim round and round and round. And you just need to work out how far they're swimming round that traffic. Just apply your bait. Once you sort that out in this swim and the other swims you move to, you're halfway there to a good session. The one thing I've always gone on about is watercraft. Work your own watercraft out, find your own spots. I've made my mind up, if I'm coming in this swim, where my baits are going every single time, because in my head, that is the dinner plate in this spot. And it's a phrase that I use all the time and people might get fed up of, but once you find that dinner plate, that is where those fish pick up. If it's not giving you bites off that dinner plate, in my head, you ain't going to get them anywhere else in the swim, because it's all about finding that best place. You're finding where them fish pass. You're finding, if you've had a bite off of it, you know, you're going to get another bite off of it. You know, if you get several bites off of it, it's, you know, it's made your mind up. That's where you concentrate all your fishing in that area. That's what I do. And that's how I go about fishing the whole of the lake. Right, bait, my favourite subject. Why we use the bait we use, why we apply it as we apply it, when to apply it, when not to apply it, and why we choose what we choose. Basically, this time of the year, my bait is so simple. I don't try and confuse them. I try and keep it very, very basic. I put a mix together probably of 1 or 2 products. I keep it the same consistency all the time I use it. Bait prep, you know, like these cold winter nights when we're not fishing, get yourself in the garage, prep bait. Get that bait as best as you can get it. You know, we've got anglers, got some lovely people around this lake all the time. You all stop and talk. You've got to, in my head, you've got to try and get your bait better than the next angler down your side, whether it be pellet, whether it be boilie, this time of the year, whether it be hemp. I mean, this time of the year, basically, I'm a massive, massive hemp user. So I have to choose what I put in with the hemp. So the hemp is the bulk of my feed. It's 80% hemp. Now, the bait I'm putting in with it is 10mm ISO fish, but that's basically the smallest part of the bait that goes in, the quantity of so it's 80% hemp, 20% ISO fish. Everybody has me down for somebody that puts tons and tons of bait in. Yeah, I do. I started this session on a funnel web, caught my first fish, a 40 plus, off a funnel web. I had to make the decision then, do I pry bait? Did I need the bait? Was it a one-off? But for the first time, as far as I can remember, fishing this lake this year, we had the sun. So I did a quick mix of probably 10 spoms and put it in tight over 2 rods, put the rods on it, and it did another bite. So basically, you could get away with just giving them 8 to 10 spoms every 5 hours. So right through the day and through the night, instead of just read the lake. A lot of anglers are rolling up, putting 20, 30, 40 spoms of bait in. Now basically, the mix I put in for winter, it's not just the same consistency, it's the same colour. So the bait is the same colour. The 2 ingredients as I use are the same colour. So what I call a summer bait, i.e. a multiple coloured bait in a bucket, stirred up, that smells brilliant, got all the attractors in it, but you've got all the different colours. To me, you're just lessening your chances of a bite at this time of the year. The fish are waking up, they're a lot slower, they're getting the first UV, sometimes feeding in the first thing on the mind. So don't complicate it. So what I'm doing now, I'm just spomming in every probably 4 or 5 hours, 8 to 10 spoms of hemp and 10mm boilie of the same colour. But in that very spread, there's 3 things that completely and utterly stand out like a sore thumb, and that's my upbaits. I am convinced when those fish go down or come round that bar, the upbaits are the first thing they see. And I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm sure the upbait goes before they've eaten anything else. I think that is probably the biggest edge for anybody coming out of winter. Keep your carpet of bait the same colour. Don't confuse them. You know, don't have sweet corn, different coloured boilies. Fantastic bait spring on when you really get into it, but don't confuse it. Make your upbaits the thing that is attracting their attention. I've seen them in snags. You put a carpet of the same thing down, i.e. pellet, and you put a bright upbait on it. They might not take it, but they're just attracted to that upbait all the time. And generally, if they do want to feed, they'll end up taking that upbait first. And that's, to me, is a massive edge on Pettitts Lake in winter. I did it 2 years ago and it worked, and I've come in this winter and it's worked. Can't emphasise enough a 1 coloured bait with your sharp upbaits on the top of it. Absolutely does you proud, and it really, really works in Pettitts Lake. Here we go, 48.2, one of Pettit's big ones. When you get the baiting right, as we spoke about, this is the rewards. Keep the bait going in little and often, get your bait mix sorted out, and this is how you're looked after. Thank you, Pettitts. Thank you very much for your acquaintance. All the best.